When you hear a story like this, where the guy is high on a legal marijuana cookie, somehow it's not real because it was written about. How can you continue?
You know what? Do I still have that? I know it's got to be in here somewhere. Oh, now how did you get over here? Let's just put you back right over here. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's where I put it. Nancy Grace chokes on her own dick. Chokes on multiple dicks.
So, what is there to say about Death Note that hasn't been said before? It's good? Nah, that's overdone. It's complicated. Yeah, no, it's probably already been said multiple times. It's overrated. Oh, you better believe someone's probably already said that. Fuck it, it's a show. It's critically acclaimed, whatever. I'm mainly doing this one because as of writing this, I'm getting ready to hit 1,000 subs, and this is one of the highest requested shows from you guys. So, here you go. Merry Christmas, even though that was 3 months ago. So, let's pretend, for the sake of accuracy, that you do not know what Death Note is. If you don't, who are you? How did you get here? Death Note is the story about Death Note is a story about Raito Yagami, whose name is Americanized in the English dubs of Death Note to Light Yagami, which makes him seem less like a Japanese teenager and more of like some sort of lean-cut Japanese lunch meat. Raito discovers a notebook belonging to Ryuk, a nightmarishly strange being known as a death god. He tells Raito that if he writes a name in the book, the person will die of a heart attack unless he writes in a very specific death for them. It has to be their actual name, and he has to see the person's face. There's a long list of other shit that you do with a Death Note, but I'm not going to bring that up because it's kind of long. Raito, as it turns out, has a strange sense of morality, and begins to only use the Death Note on criminals who deserve to die. He catches the attention of the media and gains a following as Kira, or Killer, which, even though they Americanized his name in the English dub, they make a point to say, oh, Kira means killer in Japanese, in case you didn't know what that means. Lol, 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 lol. But don't worry about that, it's not relevant, that's just me complaining. One of the people paying attention is none other than the world's greatest detective, Elle. Yeah, no, his name is Elle. Elle is an odd person with very strange personality traits and mannerisms. However, he is a fucking genius. He decides to take on Kira's case, and thus the game of cat and mouse begins. Although the mouse here can basically kill anyone on the face of the planet within reason. So, Death Note was another gateway for a lot of people into the wide world of anime, and hey, if you're gonna pick a series to start with, Death Note's pretty good. There's a clear and interesting concept given right from episode 1, and then the plot builds and builds and builds off of that until it climaxes into a final, and I'm going to make a point of putting a question mark here, showdown. And all the while, you're given incredibly complex strategies and schemes that can really make you scratch your head. The show's writing is very clever. Hell, I thought there were a ton of plot holes until I read the entirety of the rules for using a Death Note. Bringing this back up, seriously, there's like 40 pages of rules, and they account for damn near every possibility. What if to prevent from dying, Light writes his own name in the Death Note, but says, oh, it's only gonna happen when I'm 60 years old and happily married. Nope, it only works within 23 days. Oh, well, what if I write in the name of the Death God? Nope, you can't do that either. Seriously, they thought of everything. However, one of the issues somebody can have with the show is overdramatization. It's a crime drama. However supernatural the show might be, there's going to be a sequence where someone's doing something incredibly mundane and the music's gonna be like oh, by the way, the music's fucking awesome. There's a lot of minimalistic electronica to fill in a lot of the blanks, but Most of the show has a full orchestral score, which you don't see very often nowadays. Not only that, but they do actually have a full choir in some parts of it, and it's really, really cool, even though they do that thing where they could be saying anything, but there's so much reverb that you can't tell. Seriously, check this out. The score is on a Hans Zimmer level of frisson, which, for those that don't know what this word means, it means that feeling when you see a trailer in a movie theater and it's so epic in scope you get goosebumps, like in Inception. As much as this movie's soundtrack is parodied, you know when you saw that in the theater for the first time and the horns came in and shit was going down, you're all like, yeah, oh, yeah. Now, back on subject. The animation here isn't much to shake a stick at in most cases, mainly because a stick-shaking sequence was deemed too expensive to fit in the budget. I'm just kidding here, but even the infamous potato chip scene is a lot of weird film grain, zoom, and pseudo shaky cam. However, there are a few sequences that are actually animated well, but the real winner here is the art style. The character designs are simple in the human cases, but each person in the show's main plot has individuality, and something about how the faces and certain other elements are drawn is incredibly visually appealing. The designer's previous work includes stuff like Aoi Bungaku, which is another one I'm gonna have to cover in the future. Don't worry about it, I've already seen it. So overall, Death Note is a crazy, awesome psychological crime thriller that questions base morality and limits being placed on absolute power. Above all else, though, it magnificently tells a cautionary tale of the battle between darkness and light. And then I'll put the end of the video here, and over in the corner, I'll put a subscribe button, and then in the opposite corner, I'll put the Twitter and my Facebook. And that's not all. Up in the corner, in the top, I'll put a button that links to shirts that you can buy. Then I'll encourage you to tell me in the comments if there's a show you want me to watch. And then I'll also tell you to comment with voices you want me to talk in. No, but seriously, thanks guys for helping me get to 1,000 subs. This is kind of pretty awesome. Once again, I'll say that I didn't expect this to take off, so your continued support is pretty fucking sweet. Now, just so you know, while I am an anime channel, I did also say I was going to do movies and games. So I'm going to give you a warning up front. My next video is going to be over a game, but don't worry, I'm still going to do anime probably about every week. Does that mean you'll get 2 videos? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. Who knows? Thanks guys. Bye-bye.